Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make another hotel. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my other various tutorial playlists, including my brand new hotel playlist that I haven't made yet, but I probably should because these are getting up there. Oh, also, if you want to check out the card system, I'll leave more specific videos rather than just playlists that I think that you guys will like. Moving on, if you want to make the hotel, here's what you're going to need. You will need some block of quartz and some quartz slabs. Then guys, grab yourself some blue stained glass, and honestly, that's really all you're going to be needing. You might want some other stuff if you want to do the inside and the outside, but to make the actual hotel, you only need these three things right here. So once you have each one of these three things, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. You're going to want to kick off your hotel with a row of 41. That's 41 quartz block coming directly up from the ground. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Now, once you have your row of 41, this is what you want to do next, guys. You want to take this top block, this 41st block, and you want to go right of it by 13. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We want to do a couple of things from this 13th block. First of all, we're going to want to drag this 13th block all the way down to the ground like this. So we want to have, oh my god, we want to have a big giant tower rectangular looking shape. And what we then want to do, guys, is we want to take not only this 13th block again, but we want to take this other corner block, that 41st block, and we want to extend them, coming backwards, each by 13. So the top two corner blocks, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. I almost did 14. Whoops. Let's make sure that this next one is 13. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. That's definitely 13, and it should line up with the other one. Yeah, I just stopped myself. I almost did 14 there. But what you also want to do, guys, connect each one of those 13 blocks together, and also connect them down to the ground. So you want to have a nice, big, giant, rectangular shape. It should look like a big, giant tower, essentially. That's what we're going for. So, this is what you want to have so far. And shall I show you guys where one of the entrances is going, since we've reached this point? Let me show you. So, the entrance, or one of them, there's two of them, I designed them to be at the very front and base of the tower, as you might imagine. It's going to look a little bit like this. Let me see if I can do this for you. Essentially, we want to leave the two middle blocks of this row that we have here, and that's off center, isn't it? We want, yeah, there we go, that's perfect. We want to have the two middle blocks empty, we want to have quartz on the floor leading up to the entrance, and then we just kind of want to have like the standard entrance. We just want to have like two rows of 3 quartz on the left and right connected together at the top, and then quartz all the way around the base. And that is going to be, guys, as you know, this is going to be the entrance for one of the towers. There's going to be another tower over there. But before we continue on, we're just going to make sure this tower's right. And you might want to move your blue stained glass closer to your quartz for this, otherwise this might be a bit of an infuriating experience. So just make sure that this is right, guys. We're going to do this. On top of this quartz block that we have here on the left corner, we want to do this pattern of blocks going all the way up to the top of our tower, and this is just to ensure that we've got things right. So on top of this, we want to do this pattern. We want to do 3 glass, 1 quartz, 3 glass, 1 quartz, 3 glass, 1 quartz. You guys get the idea, and we're just going to do this all the way up the top of the tower, and we're just, whoops, oh no, what am I doing? I'm deleting things. No, what am I doing? Okay, there we go. The pattern resumes. There we came out of that crash landing, but we're going to keep repeating this pattern until we reach the top of the tower. And if everything's been done properly, the pattern should line up with the top. And the reason that I wanted to do that is obviously it'd be a little bit disappointing, disheartening, demotivating if we got all the way over to the other tower and we started filling them in and it turned out that we got them wrong. But we've definitely got them right. That's how it should look, guys. Now, once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So it's now time for us to make that there other tower. Come all the way up to the top right hand corner of this first and original tower. Take out your block of quartz, and starting from this block right here, can you guys see the one? It's just like the one behind this top right hand corner block. Place a quartz going right of that block. Then do like 2 diagonal blocks, like coming towards the back, like this, from that block. So you kind of want to have this, if you guys can see what we're doing, kind of just like 3 diagonals coming back across. You then want to take this last diagonal and go right of it by 7, guys. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then what you want to do, you kind of want to like do 3 like diagonals coming this way towards the front. So it'll look a little like 1, 2, whoops, and 3. And that last diagonal should kind of like just line up with the tower itself, the top of the tower. And it should do, because coincidentally we want to take this block right here, this last diagonal, we want to go down from it until we hit the floor. This is going to be the front left-hand corner of the second tower, guys. We want to go down from it until it hits the floor like that. We also want to, if we can ever get up here, we want to take this block again, and we want to go right of it by 13. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We want to connect that all the way down to the ground, and you guys might even be able to see how this is going to go from here. We connect it to the ground, and then we want to come all the way up to the top of our tower, oh my god, and we want to take each one of the top 2 corners and extend them back each by 13, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then we connect each one of those 13 blocks together, and then we connect them all the way down to the ground to form the opposite tower. And what we'll also do, guys, actually we can wait until later. I was going to say we can then connect both of the towers together, but actually, you know what, we will do that before anything else. So connect each one of those 2 back corners all the way down to the ground, and we'll have the basic shape of our hotel, guys, or at least the very, very basic shape, because we have got a little bit more to do. So, what you want to have, guys, should look a little bit like this. Looking pretty good, isn't it? Oh, and if you want to, you can add the exact same entrance onto this tower if you want, so you guys know how to do this. We want to add 2 rows of quartz coming in from the sides, leaving the 2 center blocks, which should be these 2. No, that's off center, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's just my eyes. Never mind. Leave the 2 center blocks alone. Then raise those 2 end ones up. Connect them together at the top, and we have our nice little entrance. So, that is what we want to have, guys. But we can now move on to the next bit, or should we? Actually, I'm thinking... Alright guys, I just had to think about it for a second, but I've decided how we're going to proceed. So we're going to fill in the majority of the sides of our towers. Let me show you how this is going to work on this right-hand tower, since I've kind of messed about with that left-hand tower. So, it is essentially going to look how it looks on that opposite tower, except the only difference is, guys, the pattern works like this. The glass wants to sit back 1 row in relation to the quartz, and then the quartz wants to sit in line with the rest of the quartz, if you guys can see what I'm saying. So it'll be like, it's still like 3 glass, 1 quartz, except the glass is 1 block backwards, the quartz is in line with everything. And the reason that I'm doing it like this, by the way, guys, I can place the quartz on top of the glass, is because the actual rooms, the actual floors are in line with, like, the quartz outlines. So you can kind of just, like, place quartz all around the inside of here if you want to, especially if you're making the floors out of quartz, which I would highly recommend. It doesn't really matter where you place it, because that's where the floor's going anyway. But you guys get the idea now. It's 1 quartz, 3 glass, 1 quartz, 3 glass, continue, continue, continue. And the only things that you have to remember, glass sits 1 block backwards, quartz is in line with the rest of it, and that's all you have to do. There's nothing really more to say on it. So it'll look a little bit, and just to show you guys, and everything takes longer with this, doesn't it? Everything takes a while to zoom out. It's going to look a little bit like this. And why don't we just complete this front face of it whilst we're actually here? So now I'm just going to add in all of the glass, guys, and then I guess I'm actually figuring out what would be the fastest way to do this. Like, would it be to add in all of the glass first and then add in all of the quartz, or would it be vice versa? I highly doubt it. It's probably going to be just faster to like do it all in one go. It's a bit of an awkward process just from how we kind of have it. Like my other hotels, like everything's in line with each other, and then we would usually just like add in the like the quartz that sits outwards later, but this hotel's designed in such a way that it's kind of harder to do that, so we've kind of just got to do things like this. So it is going to take a little bit longer, but what can you do? It's easy to build from the outside, the inside. I'm trying to figure this out. When I first made this, I kind of built it in a weird way, and I was kind of experimenting with things. And I originally had it so that the glass was like in line with the quartz, and I decided to like do the entire hotel. And I had to redo it. I had to like rip out the glass. I had to place glass in and stuff. So it took ages, and I didn't really think about what might be the fastest way to do this. But I guess it's going to be something like this. But you know, it's going to take as long as it takes. I'm sure that all methods take a long time regardless. But hopefully we've just about finished with this front face of the right tower. I'm not entirely sure how far we are through. I think we've just about reached the top. Oh, no, we haven't. No, we haven't. This is going to take a while yet, guys. But once this front face is done, you guys will get a good gist of how this thing is looking. So we're just going to continue on. We're going to march forward, and actually, you know what, guys? This is what most of the hotel is going to be. This is where most of the work is going in. Unfortunately, I wish it was a little bit different, but it's not. We've got to do this pretty much 5 more times. We don't have to do this to the center part of the hotel. But you know what, maybe we do it like this. So I'm going to place the quartz directly on top of the glass, and then afterwards I'm then just going to like extend out the quartz in front. You guys will see what I mean. I'm going to do it like this. It's probably going to be faster. It stops me fumbling around with rows. I think I've just figured out the fastest way to do this. But we don't have to follow this pattern for the 2 inside parts of this hotel. I'll show you how those look a little later on. But this is how the front of the hotel is going to look, guys, bar the top 2 rows. It's going to look exactly like this. And that is perfect, guys. That is exactly what we want. It looks a little flat now, but that's because it doesn't have the glass behind it. I know it looks a little bit weird, but don't worry, we're going to solve that problem. Plus, it looks better with the floors in. So that's what we want to have so far. And I think that my idea here, guys, is I'm going to have it like this up at the top, except and then afterwards I'm just going to like do all of the horizontal rows of quartz. And I think that that's just going to be the easiest way to do things. Yeah, I think that's exactly how I'm going to do it. So basically what we want to do, guys, is that all the way around that tower except for that left hand side, the inside part. So why don't we just get why don't we get cracking? Oh, and what you can also do for the base of the hotel, you can connect each one of the bottom blocks together. You can go all the way around and you can turn this thing into a proper rectangular shape. You can just go all the way around like this and turn it into a proper rectangular shape like so. And what we're now going to do, we already have these in for us, so we're just going to add in all of the glass. We'll then throw the quartz on top, and like I said, we're going to do it like that, and then we'll add in the sticky out bits of quartz later, and I think that that will just be faster. And again, it doesn't matter that we're placing quartz on the inside here, because the quartz is going to be there for the floor anyway, assuming that you're going to put floors in this thing. And even if you don't plan on using this hotel, even if you don't want to like use it in a world for a specific purpose or what have you, I would suggest doing the floors anyway, because it makes it look better. It really does. From the outside, it looks better with the floors, just because it kind of makes the glass a little bit darker, and it kind of, I don't know, you can tell the difference when the floors are in. It's not like a big empty giant thing. You guys you guys know what I'm talking about. It's difficult to explain, but it definitely looks better, and this is definitely faster. By the way, this is a faster way of doing things, and this is definitely how we're going to fill in, or at least how I'm going to fill in. You guys can do as you will. I'm going to fill in the rest of the hotel exactly like this, and then I'll add in the quartz later. And that will be that, guys. That's the next bit of fun. However long this is going to take us, whether it's going to be like 20 minutes or half an hour, or however long it'd be. I hope it's not half an hour. I hope it's not going to take us that long. Although it did take me a while to get these hotels a little right, because literally just because of the glass. That's the only reason. Because like I said, I did all of this bit, except the glass was outwards with the quartz, and I had to destroy it all, and then I had to place another layer. Oh, it took so long. But I really do like this hotel. I really like this one. I like all of my hotels. Really. Well, I mean, of course, I designed them, I show you guys them. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't show you guys how to make them. But I really, really like this one. I don't know why. I think I got the inspiration from my last hotel, which one of you guys said in the comments, which is kind of funny. You guys said that my last hotel like resembled a hospital more than like my actual hospital build did, and I kind of took a look at it, and I can see where that guy got it from. It kind of does actually. But that's the second side of the tower, and like I said, now I'm just going to add in all of the horizontal quartz, and I think that this is just going to be a faster way of doing things. If not a faster way, it's definitely going to be less irritating. I can tell you guys that for sure, because I hate having to like switch rows and like do diagonals and stuff. I'd much prefer it if it was really streamlined like this, if we can just do like one process and then just do another process instead of having to like fumble about with different materials and different spaces and stuff. But then again, it's just like how I like building stuff. It kind of depends on you guys. But let's take a look at this side. Let's see how these two sides are shaping up, and there you go, guys. And like I said, it's looking a little bit empty. It's looking a little bit too bright actually right now, but once all of the other glass is in, once the floors are in, it will look a little bit better. So we're now just going to move on to the back, and as you guys might have been able to predict, we're going to be doing the exact same thing again. And this is the actual last side that will be doing this too, and then we're going to move on to that other tower, and we've actually got to delete we've got to delete all of that glass that we used to measure it out. But I had a really bad feeling when I did that row of 41 that I actually like got 42 or 43. So I really wanted to check that out as soon as possible, just to make sure that I got everything right, because that happens sometimes, unfortunately. You guys wouldn't have seen it because it always gets like edited out, and I have to redo it if I like get the wrong counting of a row and nothing goes, and it just goes all wrong. But yeah, we needed to make sure that that was right. That happens a lot, actually, in these videos. I really should, at some point, just keep all of the little bits that I edit out and just throw them into a video, just to show you guys how it works. You guys have requested that for a little while, actually, especially in Q&As and stuff. It's like, how do you actually make these videos? How do the plans look? How do you build them? How do you do the actual tutorial? And I really should run through that process at some point, and I think that like editing out the mistakes is definitely a big part of that. Maybe I should do that at some point. Maybe I'll do that once I'm all situated at the new house. Which, by the way, guys, if you want a house update, only you guys that watch the Q&As and like my last few house tutorials where I've got to, you know, where I'm doing stuff like this where there's nothing really to talk about, only you guys will know what I'm talking about. But house update, last time in the Walmart tutorial, I told you guys that I was probably about 2 weeks away from moving. So current update, the house is completely decorated now. The carpets are down, the wallpaper's up. I have all of the furniture. It has to be assembled. Let's just show you this back part. Oh, and we've got all of the horizontal rows of quartz to do. The furniture just needs to be assembled. I've assembled like 2/3 of mine. Then it's just like a case of cleaning up, transporting stuff over, transporting the old workstation, my computer, my bed, stuff like that, and other things that I'd need like clothes. And I don't know. I imagine I'm gonna leave a lot of stuff here by accident, by you know, in like my original home. But we're very, very close to moving over, and that's when I can start thinking about doing videos like that require a little bit more planning. And I've just been busy with the house stuff, to be honest with you guys. It's been weighing on my mind a lot, but all of the adventure stuff and all of the little different videos like that will be coming very soon. So that is how this tower is supposed to look, guys. We've got the front, right hand side, and the back completely filled in with the pattern that's necessary. Now, we do leave this middle part, this center part, we leave this empty, and you guys will see why later on. But what we now have to do to progress is what we have here, we now have to transfer onto here. And to do this, we actually have to, and it's going to be easier if I do it this way, we actually have to knock out that glass that we placed earlier. We've got to knock out the front part of this glass, and we then got to obviously resume the pattern that we've got to resume the pattern that we've done on that other tower. And obviously the quartz can stay, because there's nothing wrong with the quartz. The quartz is exactly where it wants to and has to be. It does want to be there, by the way, just like you guys know. It does want to be there. That's where the quartz likes to live. Bam. So there we go. We've got things set up now, and what we have to do, obviously, as I keep repeating, we've just got to do literally the exact same thing that we've got to go over there. I love these hotels. I really do. But they can be a little bit tedious to build. What can we talk about, guys, whilst we do this? What have you guys seen any movies lately? That's the problem with these things. You guys can't... I really wish that I could stream and tutorial at the same time sometimes. Like, when I'm on bits like this, I could just be like, so chat, what are you up to? What are you doing? What have you been watching recently? But unfortunately, we don't have that. I can talk about this. I recently, very, very recently, decided to watch The Flash. The Flash is an excellent series if you guys haven't seen it. I know that you guys might not be able to believe this, considering the fact that it's my favourite superhero, but until it appeared on Netflix, which is where I watch all of my programs and movies and stuff, I don't watch TV anymore. I'm just Netflix. If it's not on Netflix, I'm not interested, basically. I don't know if you guys are the same, but Netflix or get out is all I'm saying. You guys need to catch up, everybody who's not already putting all of their programs on Netflix. Not you guys, I'm talking about like the TV networks. Just put everything on there. Make me happy. Have it all up to date, have it all current, and I'll just be one of the happiest people alive. I just want to watch all of my stuff there. I don't really want to have to, you know, go and sit somewhere at a certain time or have to record anything. I want to sit down at night after I've been at work and I've been doing all of my stuff, and I just want to sit there and watch Netflix. I don't want to have to schedule time out of my day to have to watch, I don't know, the Geordie Shore or something. I don't watch that, by the way, guys. Although I've caught a couple of episodes, it's somewhat entertaining. I don't want to have to take time out of my day to like watch Gotham or watch Arrow. I want to watch it all in one go. I want to watch the entire series in one go at my leisure, at night, in my bed, and I don't want to have to schedule out time. I don't want to take time out of my busy day to do that. Are you guys the same? I don't know why everything isn't on Netflix or equivalent. I think that's the way things are going, to be honest with you guys. Netflix is picking up so many original shows and so many series. It's gonna be great. Have you guys seen the previews for, I think it's Jessica Jones? That's like another Marvel series, like Daredevil. Jessica Jones, I think she's kind of got similar powers to, like, let's say Superwoman or Wonder Woman. Like, she can jump really high. I believe she can fly. She's got super strength. She's resistant. She's got she's got like advanced healing, and I'm just showing you guys this is the same as the opposite tower, and of course now we've got to do this 2 more times. So she's kind of, oh, and we can also connect all of the bottom parts together. So I believe her name's Jessica Jones. I hadn't heard of her until I saw the little mini previews on YouTube. You guys can check those out if you want to. Jessica Jones. They've only got like tiny little teasers, like there's one where it's like 50 seconds and it's just, she's like face down in bed, that she's like surrounded by beer bottles and wine and stuff. She's obviously had a pretty good night out on the town, and you know, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the alarm's going off and it's like boom, boom. She reaches her hand over, she's looking for the snooze button, then crunch! She like crunches the whole thing in her hand. It's kind of cool. There's also this other preview, if you guys haven't seen it, it's kind of cool there. She's like in a bar, she's like trying to fumble money into a jukebox, if you guys know what those are, those old-fashioned music playing machines. She's fumbling money into it, trying to get a song to play. It doesn't happen, so she whacks it like the Fonz, and it just starts playing, oh my god, what's that song? I don't give a damn about my reputation. Dun, 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 dun. It just starts playing that, and she's like walking through the bar, and there's just loads of people knocked out on the floor, and like just writhing around like, ugh. She's obviously just like beat up 20 to 30 guys in a bar, and then she just like sits down at the counter and like pours herself a drink. It's gonna be a fun series. If you guys watch Daredevil, you're gonna love it, or at least I'm gonna love it. It seems quite violent, which is one of my favorites, and it I don't know, she doesn't seem like the conventional type of hero. She seems like a little bit more vigilante. Not even vigilante. I'm not even sure that she's like a hero. I think that she's kind of like a private investigator, or she's like a reporter, and she's kind of like just doing things for herself. I don't know if she's even classed as a hero or not, or I'm not sure whether she'll develop into one, but that's something that you guys could probably look forward to, and that's what I've been thinking about a little bit recently. I've been getting caught up on all of my hero fixes, so that's been on my mind. We've just about finished this second to last side. We're going to add in all of the quartz here, and then we can move on to the last side, and what we'll then do is the center part, which is also very, very tedious, but once we've done the center part, which sounds very much like a haircut, we'll actually be done with the hotel. Although I might run through with you guys how I accomplished the outside of this thing, and then we'll probably take a look at my original, and then we'll probably cut the video. So that's where that is going to go. But that's a little whiles away yet. I don't know how long this is actually taking us, but I've been having a good talk with you guys about Jessica Jones, and you should probably check that out when that eventually comes out. And that is, yep, that side is perfect. Let's do this final side. I know that Netflix has picked up a load of other ones as well, like I don't know this for sure, but I know that I think there's like 3 or 4 other ones, like I think they're mainly characters out of like Ultimate Spider-Man. Like I think they're doing like an Iron Fist one, and they're doing like a Power Boy / Power Man one, and I have a feeling that they're doing like a White Tiger one. I might be wrong about these things, but I think that that's sort of like the direction they're going. And then I think maybe they'll even do like a movie, or maybe they'll have like a proper series, like they'll have like the Defenders or whatever they want to call themselves, because the Defenders are a thing. If you guys saw the second Avengers movie, you saw at the very end where it's like Falcon and oh my god, who else was there? It's been so long since I watched it, but if you guys saw the end of the second Avengers movie and all of those little kind of like semi-powerful heroes all gathered together, they're going to be the Defenders, I think. I think that's what they call themselves. So, really looking forward to this. It's definitely a good time. It's definitely a good time to be alive if you really, really like heroes and hero movies and stuff, which I do. It's a great time to be alive. I also noticed, I didn't know about this, but apparently Spider-Man has been recast again. If you guys watched the Ender's Game, that kid that was in there, that looks really, really young. I don't know how actually how old he is, but he looked really young. He seemed to be like 13 or something at the time of the Ender Game. I don't know how long ago that was, but he was supposed to be the next Spider-Man. I don't think he is anymore. I think he's been recast again. I think that opportunity is gone, and I don't know who's going to replace him. I haven't looked into it that much, but who everybody thought Spider-Man was going to be, that's not the case. I don't know what they're going to do with Spider-Man, because I don't know what's next with him. I really don't know what's next. I want more adult superhero movies. I want more violence. I want a little bit more gore with them. I want a little bit more adult themes. It's fine like with Guardians of the Galaxy where it's like a little bit more kid friendly and it's a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more jokey, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, Guardians of the Galaxy is an excellent movie and I enjoyed the hell out of that. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed it a little bit more than the second Avengers. I'm telling you guys the truth. I loved that movie, but I want movies, superhero movies, where it's a little bit darker, you know, I don't know, but we're coming up on, yep, that tower is actually done now, guys. Those are the 2 towers. Those are all of the faces that we actually had to build, and let me just show you guys from the front view. So this is what we're working with so far, and like I said, once the glass is in all of the sides, it starts to get a little darker, it starts to look a little better, and even so when the floors are in, that's when they're going to peak. But at the moment, guys, this is what we want to have, and this is what we want to do next. So you can see this thing that we have up here, how we have like starting from this block, we have like a couple of diagonals, and then we come across by 7 and a few more diagonals to connect it. Notice how this is in line with the top of the tower. Well, we want to have one of these for each section of the floor. So everywhere that we have these horizontal rows of quartz, we want to have one of those connecting the towers. For instance, starting from this block right here, we want to do, how many is it? It's 3 diagonals, so that'll be 1, 2, 3. We then want to go right by 7, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want to have 3 diagonals, or 2 diagonals, I guess, 2 diagonals connecting to the other tower. So we want to have this, and we want to have it coming all the way down until we reach the bottom, guys. But we don't want one on the floor, we want it just above the floor. So why don't we get onto that? So that's what you have to do, guys. And just to remind you, from these horizontal rows of quartz, we do 3 diagonals. Then from the 3rd diagonal right by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we do diagonals until we connect to the other side. And I will do that one more time, actually. So from this horizontal block, 3 diagonals, 1, 2, 2, 3. Then right by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 2 diagonals to connect to the other side, and I'll just show you guys how that shapes up, and then we'll go all the way down, and that's how it works. So I don't know, I really want some more violence, some more dark, some more adult themed hero movies. I think that would be cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think that they're actually doing that with, well, number 1, Deadpool. Deadpool is going to be in no way, shape or form PG friendly. There's no way that it could be. I'm not sure if you guys saw the trailer to that, but there's no way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that might just be the start of it. That might just be the start of it. If that does well, then I think that we'll get a load of better movies. But like I said, whilst I enjoy the movies as they are, I think they could be better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the Suicide Squad, I highly doubt that that's going to be like completely PG with the Joker running around and Harley Quinn and Deadshot people. That can't be. I mean, it's called Suicide Squad. It's got to at least be like a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that's going to be a very good movie. I'm very much enjoying that as well. I'm enjoying that more than like Batman vs Superman, to tell you guys the truth. I'm really looking forward to Suicide Squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Especially with how Joker is looking crazy at the moment. He looks a little mental. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then 2 diagonals to connect. And what we have there, guys, once we've bridged the gap between both of the towers, we want to have something which should look like this. That's what we want to have. Now, once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So, ladies and gentlemen, we now want to come to the back of the middle part of the hotel. And what we're now going to do is we're going to connect the back middle part of the hotel together. And we're only going to be doing this with straight horizontal rows of quartz. We're not emulating the curved shape that we have on the front. You can if you want to. It won't take anything away from your hotel, but I wanted there to be a little bit more room on the outside, and if it's curving, then you're losing some space. But you can have it so that it is like that on the back if you please. It won't change anything drastically, but I want horizontal rows of quartz. I want them to be straight because I want a little bit more room on like the individual balconies and inside the rooms. So just connect the entire back of the hotel together however you might please, whether that's with like curved quartz or whether that's with the quartz that I'm doing now, but that's kind of up to you, and you should end up with something that should look like this. So, next bit. We have to decide which on the rooms that get filled in with glass. Let me explain. So, each one of these pairings of quartz, like these two first ones here, this is like a room slash a balcony. A balcony's on top of it, the room's in the bottom. Let me show you. So, this first one, we're going to connect the two quartz rows together. The two quartz rows together that sit like below and above each other, we connect them together with glass like this. Not only do we do it on the front, we're also going to do it on the back, but we're going to do like all of the front first and then all of the back together, just so that we don't have to keep moving around. But just in the interest of showing you guys. So we want to have the first room filled in with glass like this. And oh my god guys, coming back, it should look a little bit like this. But we don't want to have that on every single level. For instance, we now don't want to connect these two together with glass. What we want to do is we want to leave this open, and then we want to like skip a level and we want to move up here. And we want to connect these together with glass, if you guys can see what I'm saying. Of course you can, it's really simple. I don't know why I'm trying to overcomplicate this. It's just every other little pairing filling with glass. So we have that one, skip one, that one, skip one. So the one afterwards we fill in with glass, so on and so forth until we eventually reach the top. You know that you've done it right if the top one should be filled in with glass, because it should. And then what we'll do is we'll do the very same thing on the back. I actually messed up on the back already because I placed the glass like in line with the quartz, which I shouldn't have done. The glass should be in line with the rest of the hotel. It should be, you guys will see what I mean when we actually get back there, but the glass is one row forward in relation to where it should actually be. But we're just about at the top, and you guys will be able to see how much of this we actually have to fill in with glass. I'm goofing a little bit. What am I doing? Just place. I'm getting delirious. I've talked too much. I've talked too much, guys. What am I gonna do? So, we want to have something which should look a little bit like this. So, as you can see, place one, skip one, place one, skip one, place one, skip one. It's as easy as that, going all the way up. And of course, like I said, you want to do the exact same thing on the back, but we goofed here because we placed it in line with the quartz. What we actually want to have, as you guys know, we want to have the glass sit one block backwards. So we've just got to add this in the back, and then we can just destroy that front layer of glass. But you guys know what to do from here. It's just this, continuing on from what we've done on the front. And this is what I had to do all the way around the hotel, by the way, guys. You know how the glass is like here? I had to not only place a layer of glass all the way behind each one of the individual stupid glass parts of the hotel, I then had to delete the existing glass, and that is why this thing took so long to design. And it's going to be a little easier, I think, if I build little quartz platforms for the glass, which I can, because the platforms are all going to have floors in them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So where's the next one? The next one will be here. Build a little platform for it. They're actually designed to be walkways. Like, the bits with glass, I figured could be like part of the room. Like, I figured each room of this hotel could be like, I don't know, 2 floors. And I figured that they could have like a little balcony section, and they can have like a little walkthrough section, or at least that's kind of like how I have it in my head. But you guys will see what I'm talking about when we have a look at the actual proper hotel. You can see how I kind of like had it in my head that it could actually function. But we've just about reached the top. We've just about added all of the glass in, and then what we'll do is we'll mess about with the top of the hotel. Then we will mess about with the outside, I think, and then we'll probably move on. But just to show you guys the back, I should show you the back, shouldn't I? It wants to look a little bit like this, and as you can see, it's identical to the front, except of course the glass isn't shaped. So that's what you want to have. And once you've done that, guys, this is what you want to do next. So once you've got all of that glass in, what we now want to do is take out your block of quartz, and these middle bits where we place this quartz, do yourself a favor and just place a quartz directly in front of each one of those quartz blocks. So we only have to do this on the front, we don't have to do it on the back, but kind of extend each one of those blocks of quartz out in front of your hotel by one, and this will just give the illusion, or it's not an illusion because it is actually doing it, this will make the glass sit one block backwards in relation to the quartz. It'll look a little bit better, and you don't really need any more reasons for doing it, it's going to look better. So we're just adding all of this in here now, guys, and then we'll mess about with the top, and then I might show you how I laid out the actual outside, but then I'll show you guys the original version of the hotel for everything else. So this is what you want to have, guys, and in my opinion this looks a little bit better, and do bear in mind that once the floors are in, the hotel does look a little bit better. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, once you've added in all of that quartz, this is what you want to do next. So what I then did was I threw a layer of quartz slabs going all the way around the top of the hotel just to make it pop up a little bit more. I like it, I think it makes it look a little bit better. You guys may or may not like it, that's completely up to you, of course. You might not want to do it, but I figured if people are going to be walking around up here, it's a little weird that there wouldn't be like some sort of edge to it, some sort of platform. I'm just thinking in terms of like actual hotels. That's a health code violation, guys, waiting to happen. You don't want that. Your hotel gets sued, it could go under. We don't want that. So I figured I'd just add a layer of slab going all the way around, because you will be able to walk on top of the hotel if you choose. Alright, so you guys are probably wondering, what are we going to do next? This thing is just about done, so I'm going to show you guys where all of the floors are, although it's quite obvious. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the path and the pool around the hotel, then I'm going to show you the original version of it, because then everything's kind of spelled out for you guys and you can complete it as you want. So, next bit. Where are the floors going to go? You're probably wondering to yourself. You're probably not wondering to yourself, actually, because I've already explained this and it's fairly obvious. So the floors simply go in line with the horizontal rows of quartz all the way throughout the hotel. And it's really, really easy. Not only do you fill in the 2 tower floors, but you also fill in the connecting rooms that connects each one of the 2 towers. So you just want to completely sweep the entire horizontal plane of the hotel, and you just want to fill the entire thing in with quartz. If you guys can get the idea from that little bit that I've kind of filled in, I'm not going to do the entire thing, obviously, guys, because that'll take a really long time, quite frankly. The floors take as much time as like actually building up the entire towers, or at least it felt that way when I actually did it. But you guys should get a pretty good idea where all of these are going to go and how to do them. I mean, it's not complicated in any way, shape or form anyway, obviously, but you guys will be able to see what you have to do. So that's like most of a floor done. I'm sure that you guys can see how that goes. You just fill in the entire horizontal part of the floor, which brings in a couple of other questions. So what do we do about these sections, like these little bottom sections underneath the hotel, just underneath this first little walkway? Well, all you've got to do is just connect the 2 sides together, and this only applies to this very bottom floor, guys, the one that kind of like sits underneath the little bridgeway thing that we're kind of like filling in the floor for. So we'll fill in this side here with glass, and we'll fill in the opposite side with glass. So come into this opposite side, we just want to fill both of these sides in with glass, but the other ones will be open like just above here for the other floors. We'll have actually a similar setup to this, but we will have an entryway. So just to show you guys what that would look like. So coming into here, for example, we need to build a little bit more of the floor to show you what I'm getting at, but actually you don't have to do it to this floor. It's kind of like these floors which are open. So let me just show you. So for these floors which are open, we're just going to have something that will look a little bit like this. I mean, for the most part, they're just glass, but in the very two center blocks, we'll have, like, an entrance, and it'll look like this. And these I've only included on the floors where, like, the space is open, like where we don't have glass. So we'll just be doing that in between the entrances. They're built up like that. You guys should be able to emulate that, no problem. What else will you guys need to know? The floor of the hotel, like the very base of the floor, that is designed to be quartz. So you can see that, like, this floor's quartz, all of the other floors are quartz. The entrances, only the open space ones, they'll look a little bit like this. Not only will this be on this side, but also be on this other side as well. What else can I show you guys? The roof, obviously, the roof is exactly where you'd expect it to be. It's just right up at the top of this hotel. It's just underneath these slabs. This will be filled in with quartz as well, so obviously you've got to do that. And also, guys, the last thing that I'm going to show you, now, I know that I'm showing you, like, little bits and pieces of this, but that's because I don't want to show you the whole thing, like I keep saying, or like double the length of the tutorial, and it's not really necessary because it's just really, really easy stuff. This is ever so slightly more complicated, though, so for the hotel, what I basically have is I have a pool right in the center underneath here, which is 3 blocks away from the left and right side of the hotel. And it looks a little bit like this, so we want it to be 3 blocks left and right of the hotel in the center here, and that goes all the way to the back part, so it just sits in between the 2 towers. It's a very simple rectangular shape, and what I'm also going to do to this pool, I'm only drawing the outline of it, I'd obviously dig it out, I'd replace the floor of the pool with quartz, and then I would simply fill it with water. So there's going to be a pool like dead center there, and if you want, you can put some trees, you can put some other stuff around it. That's completely up to you. But I also have a walkway that goes all the way around the hotel. So the walkway starts at each one of the doors, and it starts at the corners, and it comes out like this. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, leaving a gap of 3 going around the hotel, and then it kind of just looks like this. It wants to go all the way around the hotel, leave a gap of 3, that's 1, 2, 3, and then it marches backwards, and then when we get out of the back of the hotel, it will do the same thing. So now we're in line, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, which will leave a gap of 3, and then it will go all the way around the hotel. And I don't need to do that. I don't need to do all of it because you're going to see the end result of it. But it's going to go all the way around there, and it would eventually connect to, like, this side, and it would also connect to the other door as well. So I'm just kind of like, I'm just shaping it a little bit just to show you how you what am I doing there? That's completely wrong. How silly of me. Hang on, there we go. So it'll go all the way around, and it'll, like, kind of connect up to here, and obviously just imagine that it's going all the way around the back as well. And then what we're going to have in here, we're going to have quartz as the first layer, and in between the quartz, I've actually used cyan stained clay so that it looks like a path. And just imagine that this whole, like, little section in here, that's all going to be filled in with cyan stained clay. But what I'm also doing, the path is going to be 3 rows thick as well, so it'll be 1, 2, 3. And it'll look like that. But then outside of that, like going all the way around, will be another layer of quartz. So just to show you on this little bend, and I don't really have to show you this, guys, I'm sure that you guys will get the grasp of this, but we just want to have something which should 1, 2, 3, and then that'll be there, bang, then some quartz here, and it'll look a little bit like this. So if you can imagine this going all the way around the hotel, if you can imagine you've got the pool in the center, you've got all of the floors in, that's how you do the walkway that goes around the hotel, you'll now be able to see how I arrived at the original hotel. Let me just show you guys. So once you've reached this point right here, the actual tutorial aspect of this video has been completed. Obviously, I've not shown you how, I've not went through the process of doing all of it, because like I said, it'd double the length of the video, but I've shown you guys how you would be able to do it if you wanted to copy the exact layout of my hotel. Why don't I flip over to the original and I can show you guys how this looks once it's actually all done. So tutorial portion over, let's look at my original back in a moment. Alright guys, so what we're looking at is the original version of my hotel. As you can see, not that much has really changed from the outside, although we can now see what I was talking about with this path and that pool. The pool was mostly done, but hopefully now you can see what I was getting at with the path. It's like, it's all about freeze, like it's just leave a gap of 3 here, leave a gap of 3 for the path, and then that just follows all the way around the hotel doing the exact same thing. I'm sure that you guys got that, and I just over-explained it, as I usually do. Let me point out one other thing, one other difference to the base portion of this hotel before I go on. You can see, on top of these, like, empty walkways that we have right here, you know, these empty bits that don't have the glass, I added in some slabs that goes all the way around the edge. I like that a little better because then, of course, it just makes a little bit more sense. If this was a functional hotel, there'd either be like glass there or there'd be some sort of barrier. So I just kind of raised it up a little bit with slabs, and you guys may or may not want to do the same thing. Now that all of the outside's done, since I've basically shown you all of that, let's take a look at the inside. So this front left-hand portion of the hotel, I figured it could be some kind of like signing in area or whatever. Not that much space in here, and it could be light, by the way. I decided not to light it up though, since I like it looking dark. I figured this could be like some sort of sign-in area, you get your keys and what have you, there's a little bit of a reception. And then I figured it might be a good idea to have like all of the stairs just confined to this right hand part, and here we just have like a big giant waiting bench as well. So that's like the reception. This right hand bit is where all of the stairs are contained, and I tried to keep this as small as possible, and I tried to keep it as like non-obvious as possible. So in my head, and you can lay this out differently if you like, this is like all of the stairways, and these go all the way up to the top, and they're set out exactly like this. I tried to use as little rows as possible, as you guys can see. So my idea was like, not only would this, like, first floor here be a room, but, and I really should have added stairs into this end part. Oh, that would have been so smart. Why didn't I do that? I really should have, like, added in stairs here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I wish I would have done this before. I wish I would have thought a little bit better, but my idea was that, okay, so let's go back to the beginning here. This is room number 1. I figured, like, you've got all of this empty space. This is all nice and open. This second floor is also room number 1. I thought would be a great idea, but I also included an entrance here. But if you section this off, if you like just turn it into that, then you'd have kind of like 2 floors for 1 room, and then the hotel like makes a little bit more sense. And of course it's closed off, unless you wanted it to be nice and open there. But if you wanted it closed off like a real hotel, and I know that this is a little unrealistic because of course we're surrounded by glass and you can look through it, it'd be the creepiest hotel in the world, but that's kind of like what I had in my head. Like, this is floor number 1, this would be like the entrance to the room, and you can have so many things in this room, loads and loads of room. But this is also room number 1 as well. You've got like an upstairs downstairs sort of thing, and of course that would be closed up. Ideally. That's kind of how I had in my head like the layout of the hotel, and then it kind of continues from there. So like this would be room number 2, but this is floor number 3 if you're following me. So this would be room number 2, as would this, whoops, as would this just above it. This is also room number 2. Oh, that I'm trying to use stairs instead of block of quartz. So this would also be room number 2, and then as we go to the, I guess this would be the 5th floor. This is where room number 3 starts, and so is the next one. This is also room number 3. That's kind of where I have it out in my head. But if you wanted to, and what also makes quite a bit of sense, is if each individual floor was just like a room. That is how it could also work. But that's kind of your own personal preference. And of course, all the way up here, we have ourselves the roof. And if you wanted to, you could put like a couple of helipads up here, or just one helipad, and you could have yourself a helicopter. You could build one of those on the roof. You could build a pool up here. You could have anything up here. It's quite big. And I guess that's kind of like how the interior is laid out, and that's all how the exterior is laid out as well. I think it actually works quite well, to be honest with you guys, or at least I hope it does. It makes sense to me at the very least. Plus, it's a little bit discreet. I know that you can kind of see it from the outside, like where all of those walkways are, but it's not staring you in the face. It's not like 100% obvious. So that's the inside of the hotel. That's the outside of the hotel. I obviously didn't furnish it because I hate doing that. It upsets me every time I do that. But you guys should be able to get a functioning hotel out of this if you want to. Of course, I imagine that you would, at this point, if you're still following the tutorial, you're probably filling in floors. There's a decent possibility that that's what you're getting up to. But once you've finished, you could end up with something that should look exactly like this. And hopefully you like this, guys. I really do like this hotel, and I've tried to make it a little bit more functional than my other hotels. I actually put some thought into it, and whereas I didn't really with the couple of others, I kind of just like, here you go, this is how it'd work. So hopefully you like it, and if you do like it, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favorite, a share, anything that you'd feel like doing to help me out, guys. I would just always appreciate. If you really did like it, if you've managed to make it, I would like, favorite, share, if you wouldn't mind. Feel free to comment down below. Would you like to see more builds like this? Would you like to see a hotel made out of another material? I would, but I don't know what to make it out of, and I don't know how to make it look. The good thing about these quartz hotels is it looks like an actual hotel. It looks modern, it looks nice, but I do realise that I am following kind of like a formula for them, and I don't like that. I'd like them to look a little bit different. So the next hotel that you guys see will hopefully maybe be out of a different material and maybe a bit of a different style, but we'll have to take a look into that. Or maybe I just won't build some hotels for a while. I've been thinking about doing like an apartment complex again. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Feel free to comment down below. Feel free to check out the card system. The description, I just forgot the name of it, the description will house a load of my playlist tutorials. If you want to find any playlist, go through there. But the card system will have more specific videos that I think that you guys will really dig. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind, and I will see you in the next video.